How to make up for lost time supersizing your business. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and our idiom, our expression today is make up for lost time. It means to hurry and compensate for a waste of time or wasted time on a project, wasted time doing something. It first appeared in writing in 1774, and then again with a slightly altered meaning to try to make up for time if you were behind schedule in the 1800s. Now, to accomplish something that is actually taking longer than you originally thought is sometimes used, we use the expression make up for lost time. There's like 100 different ways to describe this particular expression, just like every other expression with respect to time. If you do a synonym search or if you look for other ways of saying something, you'll usually find like 100 different ways of saying the same thing. So to make up for lost time could be to catch up on a project, to hurry up, to make progress, to get ahead, to make up lost ground, to gain ground, whatever. There's all different ways of saying it, but they all mean something took longer than you thought it was going to take, and you're trying to make up for the extra time it's taking. If you're in a business and you're starting a business, you know what often takes, in growing your business, everything takes longer than you think it's going to. You can't possibly anticipate all of the things that are going to happen when you're launching a new product, launching a new service, starting a company, building a company, adding product lines, adding and serving different people. There's no way to anticipate everything, but one of the ways you can make sure that you're not making up for lost time or trying to catch up is by planning. Make sure that you're planning ahead of time. You can do other things and I'm going to argue, can you really make up for lost time? Time is one of those things, once it's gone, right? None of us can go back in time. At least I'm not aware of any real time travel devices except in movies that we can use to go back in time and redo something. So once we've lost time, or once we've spent time, or once time has gone by, it is just gone in each and every one of our lives and in each and every one of our businesses. Now we can make amends, we can learn lessons from things that took longer or mistakes that we've made, we can apologize, we can try to fix things that we've broken or mistakes that we've made, but can we really make up for lost time? I argue not so much. I don't think that we really can. But we can do things to learn the lesson from the situation that didn't work exactly as planned or that wasn't on schedule and make sure we do better next time. I like to journal and keep track of lessons learned and things that do work out well and things that don't work out well, so that I make sure that I don't make the same mistakes over and over and over again. That doesn't mean I haven't made the same mistakes over and over again. Of course not. I've made the same mistakes over and over again, which is part of how I learned the lesson. So we can use tools like journaling or planning software or all kinds of things to try to stay on track. Sometimes we need to just take time off, time away, and figure out what happened or what's going wrong that is taking longer than we anticipated. I am an industrial engineer, mechanical industrial engineer by trade, and so I actually grew up taking and doing time and motion studies, which, if you know what those are, they're very meticulous, very boring. I shouldn't probably admit that, but they are. They're super boring. But they actually break down tasks and figure out how much time they should take. So I come at life from this weird things should be done already perspective, which can be super frustrating and very undermining. It's a belief that things should be done in a certain amount of time, and if they're not, then we need an explanation for why they're not done in that amount of time. So even though we can't make up for lost time, we want to understand why something's taking longer than we anticipated that it would. Maybe supplies were held up. Maybe a vendor didn't deliver as promised. There's all kinds of things, but we want to find out what those things are so we can put safeguards in place so that they won't happen again in the future. So we can use journals, we can plan, we can sometimes step away, we can swap tasks out. Like if our project is already behind, we can look for fat in that project and cut out some of the pieces of buffer time that we built into the project in the first place and utilize that time more wisely. We can swap out different activities for one another. We can do things simultaneously. We can get more resources, either human or supplies, whatever we need to try to get that project back on track. But again, I'm going to argue that we can't make up for lost time. So I think this is a really interesting saying. And I think it puts us in a position of feeling like we're always wrong or behind or off. And that makes it difficult to supersize and grow our business if we think we're not ever doing it fast enough. So Love to know your take on this particular idiom or expression. Do you believe you can make up for lost time? How have you made up time on projects in the past when you've been behind on projects? I don't know about you, but the bigger the company, it seems, the more ways it is to get behind on a project. So as our companies grow, as we supersize and build and grow our businesses, the problems just become more complex. And as they become more complex, there's more places where we can fall through the cracks and we can lose time. But guess what? I believe everything happens exactly when it is supposed to happen, and that we are not ever behind, and we haven't lost time, or we're not missing out. We just aren't ready for it yet. And when we're ready, our business will supersize. Until then, we just keep plugging away and growing and learning and becoming the best version of ourselves and our businesses. And that's the best that we can do to make the world a better place. All right, look, I almost said love ya. Have an awesome day. I do love ya. Love you for listening. Have an awesome day. And any questions, ask. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow. A couple more days of time-related idioms, and then we are going to move on to a different topic. I'm thinking money for November, because money becomes a big deal at the end of the year. So have an awesome day. If I can help you, ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow.